There it goes. Ooh.
Ooh, Ed.
Ooh. That's new. Yeah. All right. I've been so looking forward to this part. So, like all these projects, it starts with an idea. And, well, you know. Next we go and we try to choose some colors. And, yeah, I had a lot of colors to choose from. But we worked out the colors for what the bag would be, and then I worked out a pattern like this for it. And from there, I ended up cutting the strings, and then I have Mandy go and make kumis for the loops. Now, these are some pretty big kumis, and lots and lots of string. So, yeah, it's a bit of work. But I wanted to kind of give you guys a little bit of insight as to some of the stuff that kind of goes on before we actually get to work onto the live stream. So I thought this would make like a nice little intro before we actually get into the actual making of this bag. So the bag was inspired by a more tribal sort of looking design. And yeah, this one should be a lot of fun. A little bit complicated, a little bit harder than some of the. Yeah. So you can see Mandy this is actually even sped up. So don't get confused in thinking that this is something that, you should be doing so quickly. This is sped up. She's working out all of the strands here. Mind you, this part with this many strings, yeah, this would be beyond what I could do. I would get confused. I would make mistakes for sure. So there's the basic setup. And then you can see she just keeps, one goes up and one comes down. And you just keep going around like this the whole time. And you can see the one that she brings towards herself, she kind of pulls it out to keep it from getting tangled in with the rest of the stuff. The ones at the top kind of start to get built up a little bit, but by the time she makes it around again, they get untangled. So that's how she does it. But yeah, this is some pretty intense stuff. So get ready, shortly here, we're actually going to put this thing together. So yeah, it just keeps going around and around. If you've never done a kumi, they are incredibly easy, but they are also super repetitive. So now she's basically done with going long enough to make the whole kumi. She's taking the last two strands, going to tie it in a knot. And this keeps it from unraveling while I, set up to actually make the bag itself. This is kind of really important. There was a knot at the beginning, and then there's this one at the end. And at this point, she can just pull off all the strings, and it won't come undone. It's really super helpful. There we go. And then that's a silicone thing that we keep like a bobbin. And there it is. So now we're ready to get to work. All right, let's do this. Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AKAAWOL. And how about that whole new intro thing, right? Kind of cool, right? Yeah, okay. So sorry about the sound things. I'm kind of trying to figure this whole thing out. But wait, before we get into too much, I want to remind everybody we still have a secret word game. It's been going on for like a year now. We need somebody to win this stuff. That would be awesome. All right, so yeah, the top one was made by me. The other one was made by Minute Craft. And yeah, all you gotta do is chat and say the right word and you get it. And I'm joined by my lovely wife, Mandy. And that's like incredibly fortunate because we just spent, I don't know how long trying to figure out how to get this whole thing to work. So, and I'm not sure, can I? I'm trying to figure out where to put things because I need a pattern in front of me. And now you guys are way over there, so seeing the chat is going to be almost impossible for me. But I don't know how else to do this at the moment, so I'm just going to roll with it. Yeah, so that was weird with the sound. I thought I fixed it partway through. Could you still hear echoes, like in the latter part?
Second half was okay.
Okay. So yeah, so it was playing the video and giving you the audio from the video, but then it was also getting the audio from my output thing. So yeah, I just have to fix something in there, I guess. I don't know.
Is my sound coming through normal?
I think so.
Okay.
Your bars just seem to be there. Oh, wait, say something again.
Hello?
Okay, good. Because I just saw that there's a bar where it could actually come sound directly from your phone, which I was like, oh, that would be really bad if those are both, because then for sure there would be an echo. Yeah, she sounds like her regular old Minnie Mouse self, right?
Hey.
So some of that video that in that little pre-thing there, that was actually recorded in Thailand. We actually brought string along with us to accomplish some stuff, including getting the kumis for this bag done. So that was kind of neat. The plan is that all that you saw in that preview thing get shorter next week, and then but also gets a little bit of a history of what we did today, and then the week after that it gets something. It's a progressive thing, supposedly. That's the plan. So yeah, lots of string here, and holy crud. So dark, and then this, then dark, then this, then dark. Yeah, the holiday was pretty awesome. That was a lot of fun. I met a masseuse who definitely just loosened up everything, got everything and at one point she's like, "Oh, you work on computers." I'm like, yeah, kind of, yeah, that's that, and behind the cameras and stuff, but sure. like, something about computer syndrome or some something like that. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And then she like started like cranking this way and cranking. Next thing I know, I'm like, it was so awesome. I felt so good. And then she taught me some stretching maneuvers that I'm supposed to do, before bed each night. And yeah, it was pretty cool. Uh, so yeah, basically this bag will have 4 loops, and I have to do this, what I'm doing right now, like all 4 times. And if you haven't figured out by my struggles here, this part's not easy. I hate it. So light, then the dark, then the light. And then the dark. And the last one is this reddish thing. Great. Awesome. We've gotten one side done. How long did that take? 11 minutes? Jeez. I wish I could make the font big. Oh, wait, I got an idea. I think I know how to do this. Whatever. That's stupid. Live chat. Oh, wait. Can I? Yes. Hey, I can have the chat in the. Oh, life just got a whole lot better. I've got chat and pattern splitting up in the screen directly above me. So all is right in the world. Oh, if you guys haven't seen it, you have to check out Mandy's TikTok. It's pretty hilarious. I gotta say, she did a wonderful job at editing, and yeah, that was pretty fun. Wait, what's happening with the Mandy camp? What's flipping?
It shows it fit on my screen. It's correct on YouTube.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. Usually those two correspond, but now they're not, which has me really confused.
Right. Yeah, no, okay. That's got to be a little bit like and mind you, I should talk about this. When we do the Patreon Hangouts, my screen is flipped the other way, not this way, but that way. And it drives me insane. I'm not used to seeing myself mirrored, and it really does my head in. So, speaking of Patreon Hangouts, it's the beginning of the month. Can you believe it? It's already February. Like, I don't, like, holy cow, that's crazy. You try to plug your TikToks, and next thing you know, the bot jumps in there with mine.
Your camera seems to be slightly not focused. The string, your desktop.
This one, this
I
camera.
don't know what you're pointing at.
Oh, right, lag. Forgot. Give me a second. The focus looks pretty good. What does this one do? I can zoom in a little bit. Does that look better? Oh crap! I've lost track of where I was. Oh, wait. Dark red, dark light, dark light.
Yeah, better.
Cool. Light and then a dark. Yeah, it's really difficult for me to actually set the focus unless I have like either written text or like that. In that case, the graph paper that worked out really good because yeah, that's about it. Well, hey, I I've been away vacationing. I'm not even sure that all of my brain has made it back yet. I've been since we've been home, I have done so much stuff and like upgraded the computer. We're now running on the newest Windows thing, 11, I guess. Which, to be honest, I don't see that big of a difference. There's nothing, whatever, except for it broke the Mandycam. I mean, I can't verify for sure that that's what broke Mandycam, but Mandycam was broken, and yeah, that's the only real thing that's ever changed. So I don't know.
Hopefully, this app is more stable than the last one.
Yeah, well, except for the fact that you're upside down, and that's mildly annoying. But there's a chance that we can fix that if we'd had more time. We only discovered the Mandycam being broken, what, about 30 minutes ago? Little, well, okay, no, we've been working for 17,
No, an hour ago.
about an hour ago.
But
But well, it wasn't an hour before the stream started. It was like 45
no,
minutes before the stream started.
yes.
Well, so yeah, the first thing I discovered was normally, because the app we were using was called Camo, normally when Camo is working, OBS sees it and just if it's not connected, it's got a screen and it's like, yeah, that's Camo. Um, after when I started up the OBS today, it was a blank screen. There was nothing. It was completely black. And I was like, oh, that can't be good. So we tried to get Mandy's camera to hook up and she's trying to charge it. And for some strange reason, that particular app does not like it if your phone is on a charger, which is stupid. But so she took it off the charge, tried to do it, whatever. So then I've connected my phone to it before. So I'm like, well, here, you just charge your phone. I'm going to try it. Trying. Nothing's working. Um, Rebooting, doing all kinds of craziness. Nothing's working. So Mandy discovered another app. So we downloaded that and do all the setups and things. And yeah, that part got a little bit insane, a little juicy. And then there was a brief moment where we were very concerned because it put a watermark right in front of Mandy's face. It was super annoying. It was just like, yep, this is the app that's connected. Like, what the heck? All right. My pink threads are trying to be problematic here. Oh my God, what the heck? Ah. So yeah, um this bag that we're working on is now the pinned on my website to the top of the tutorials. So anybody who kind of wants to follow along or try it for themselves, you're more than welcome to. The pattern that I'm using is is literally the same exact one. Like I went to my own website, clicked on the pattern. Well, here I can show you it. Over here, and then that's that's the pattern. So I clicked on it. It opens up the pattern in a new tab. I shifted the new tab over to the other screen, like to be in front of me. But that's exactly what I'm working from. So yeah, kind of awesome. So yeah, we went to Thailand and oh man, just if nothing else, the weather. It was wonderful. Um, but then I started to make some deductions, and turns out I was right. Go figure. We got picked up by you order the cars, the grab, to have people come pick you up, and some of these people were driving around wearing jackets and had their heaters turned on in the car, and I was like, that's very interesting. And Mandy and I were talking about the fact, like this place where we're at, like the elevation is much higher than what Singapore is, and so it's and we're further north, so it's nice and cooler and stuff. And I pointed out to Mandy, I'm like, I bet you, judging by the way these people are acting, that this cooler weather is not their normal. They're bundled up because they're cold or whatever. I bet you it gets really, really warm here. And so later on, we ended up with somebody who was nice and chatty and whatever. So we asked him, like, what does it get to there? What did they say the highs were in, like,
45.
yeah, 45 degrees Celsius. I mean, yowzers. Yowzers. No wonder. I mean, we were like 25, 26s and stuff, and we were loving it. It was absolutely awesome. Like early in the mornings, it was like even like 21.
13.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, but by the time we were down in the breakfast stuff, was it still really that cold out? No.
No, probably about 18 by then.
Yeah. So yeah. Um yeah, we were loving it, but we could see that a lot of the locals were just like, nope, not having fun. But yeah, I would definitely not want to go there in their hottest months. That just seems frighteningly warm. And we got to chat with. Oh, I forgot to bring bracelets with me to give away. I had stuff to work on and actually recorded some video of me working on stuff while there, but somehow neglected to bring bracelets as gifts. So I gave some people a card of mine and told them to get a hold of me and that I would mail them some bracelets. And yeah. So if you're that gal that was making the really cool um, stuff up on the mountain by the sheep, yeah, for real, I will send you a bracelet. Just get a hold of me. If you can understand me. I don't. I just realized like you might have a clue what I'm saying. She had the other girls helping to translate. That was funny. I even told the girl translating, I'll send her something too. Like, I didn't care.
Yeah, they're both really sweet.
Yeah, they were.
I wonder if we send them to our tour guide, if he could get them to.
Oh, did you see the message I got from the tour guy?
No?
Sammy lost his mom.
About?
Sammy's mom is on her way to heaven.
What?
Sammy's
Mm-hmm.
mom is on her way to heaven.
Oh. I thought you said he lost his mind
Mom
over something that you did.
lost his mom.
Oh. Oh dear. No,
Yeah.
I did not see that.
I sent you a screenshot of the conversation because I had asked him for like favorite colors. I was going to send him like a few bracelets. So Sammy wants to basically play middleman and have my bracelets for sale up in some of these touristy places. Thinks we're going to make a fortune, and he's all excited about it. But I wanted to make sure I sent one that he liked, so I asked him what his favorite colors were, and he replied back with something about that his mom, he's seeing his mom off to heaven or something. I don't know. It was weird.
Hmm.
You have to look. Go find the wording because it was it.
Where?
What's that? It's a screenshot from the Instagram chat, so it should be pretty easy to spot.
Oh, it got lost with the doctor thing earlier.
All right.
I'm sending my mother to heaven.
Yes, that was what he said. I've never heard it worded like that, but then again, that he's from Thailand, and English isn't exactly a strong suit, but it was clear enough. I got what he was saying. But Sammy was a great tour guide. He took us all over the place. In fact, I think we put in more hours with Sammy than he was like contractually required to. So that was a lot of fun. He took us to the Golden Triangle, where the three countries all come together, where like two rivers join. And so you got like Thailand. What's the other two? Myanmar and
Laos.
Laos. And then we took a boat and we went over to Laos, which was stupid frightening. The river is huge. The river is like as big as the Detroit River, and it's scooting, and we're in this little rinky-dink boat that's just sort of going along. It's like, oh man, did not feel secure about any of that.
It was fun. I would have had a lot more fun if not for stupid life vest.
Yeah.
It really restricts movement for me.
Well, it restricts movement for everybody. They suck.
More for me.
No, I know, but I gotta admit though, there were moments where I'm like, yeah, big waves coming through. I'm not saying it's terrifying. I'm just saying I'd felt better in a kayak. Maybe. I think I'd feel better in a kayak. Anyways, I don't know. It was something. It was an experience. Where else did we go with Sammy? We saw the white temple, and we saw the blue temple.
The blue temple.
That was pretty neat. The white temple is pretty spectacular. It's just
we saw sheep.
Wow. Oh, and then
not in a white temple.
No, that was one of we saw the White Temple first. Then we went and we
Yes.
went up the mountain. We were going to go see a coffee place, but before going to the coffee place, we went to a um a place with sheep, which was really cute. Oh,
It was a farm.
yeah. I got this guy. So he came from the sheep farm and he's felted from the sheep fuzzies. So he lives over here in the office now. And then what else do we do?
Coffee place.
Yeah, the coffee place, which I've considering I thought we were going to like a coffee farm-ish kind of thing. I thought we would actually
I did
see
too.
more of the plants. Right? Kind of thought that would be a thing, but so instead we went to a place where, for lack of better words, refinery, right? Kind of something like that. Anyway, so that was a thing. Um, and then so yeah, we had to, mind you, because my like now heart condition, I don't get to drink that much coffee. So I did enjoy it. Like we had them, instead of just going to like the regular counter, we had them like bring out the good stuff and do a whole little presentation in front of me, and that was pretty neat. And then the coffee that we chose, it was like, man, it was like wine. It was amazingly wowed kind of stuff. So yeah, that was kind of neat.
Then lunch.
Then we had lunch, which was really on top of, so the whole area, like, so we went to Chiang Rai, which is like a valley in between a set of mountain ranges. And this is like the river or whatever from it. So, like the whole valley. So, we went up into the mountains where this coffee thing was, which takes you along one of the mountain ridges. And so we made it to the top of one of this area where the lookout was just so cool. I'm pretty sure, mind you, Sammy wasn't too sure about it, but it seemed to me like we might have been able to see like Myanmar in the distance, because you could see a series of these like mountainous peaks, and it seemed to me like there was enough that one of those might have been Myanmar, but I can't say for sure. But it was still cool. It was still really, really cool.
It was literally cool.
Oh yeah, it was chillier up there, right? And like, and those people, they were all in jackets and sweaters and stuff, which like,
Sammy ran back to the car to get his jacket.
yeah, he did. And meanwhile, we're both sitting there like, no, this is nice. This is not bad. So yeah, that was interesting. Like we brought jackets along thinking that, we were going away to enjoy
Never wore
cold.
them.
Never warm ones. Carried them around. All that extra. I had a blue jean jacket. Do you know how much those things weigh? I'm carrying this thing around. Like, man, could have saved myself
I've had
all
this
kinds.
cardigan that I've wanted to wear so many times since
It's
I bought it,
brand
and
new. It's never been worn. That's so funny. So yeah, we had the lunch up in the mountains. Then Sammy was getting kind of worried that, it was going to get dark before we could enjoy boats and do the shopping and stuff over at the Golden Triangle. So he drove down there and told us stories and stuff. And
over in Laos, the market there, and their obsession with snake whiskey. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah. Okay. In case I have any viewers from Laos, please forgive me because I do not understand why you would put snakes in your whiskey. I like
And
whiskey.
there were cobras one day.
Whiskey's nice. No, well,
They all
somewhere.
looked like they had a hood.
There were definitely some Cobra ones. But there were definitely some others that weren't. Um, but I don't get it. There's nothing about snake whiskey that makes any sense to me whatsoever.
To me, it's just like you're doing bad to both things.
Yes. Yes.
First,
You're
it's
destroying the
the snake
alcohol.
had a
Yeah.
horrible death for no good reason, and then the snake dying contaminated the liquor. Why?
Yeah. Yeah. I seriously, I do not understand the concept of snake whiskey. It just doesn't. Yeah. Oh, and somebody was saying that the snakes might be put into the whiskey alive. I didn't see any of that happening, but apparently that there was some talk about that. I don't know. That bothers me too. It's,
The one seller who pulled the snake out of a bottle
and
and
was
waved it
waving
around
it
for
around, like
tourists.
trying to see like who would be like frightened of a dead snake. I was just like, that's just gross and mean. Yes, there is tequila with worms. But okay, not to be too graphic here, but like when people were hung back in the day, like back when that was like a form of punishment or whatever, like you die and then different orifices release, the muscles that were contracted open up and all the stuff falls out, whether it's liquid or solid, all falls out. I imagine the same thing happens with the snakes, and that's going in with your whiskey. And I can't, for the life of me, think that that might help improve a whiskey's taste. Just not happening. Just in my mind says nope, 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 nope. I just don't know. So yeah. Do you remember how many strings are in this thing, by the way?
No,
Thought you might have remembered it just based on the kumi. I mean, you made 4 of them.
34? Did I do this with a big disc? No.
I
Yes?
don't think so.
Then 24 is max.
That makes sense. It's probably 24 strings. I was thinking it might be 24, but I just didn't have a confirmation in my head. So that makes sense. So then it's the whole bag is like 96 strings. So that makes sense, right?
Makes sense. So from the Golden Triangle, we got back to Thailand and then went to the Blue Temple.
Which it was pretty late and dark by the time we made it there. But that was really cool. So apparently the Blue Temple, so blue is one of the colors in the Thai flag and it's supposed to represent royalty. And so the architect behind the Blue Temple was paying his respect to the royalty or the government or whatever. So but it wasn't like a super popular destination until somebody threw some pictures of it into Google Maps, and then suddenly out of nowhere its popularity went crazy, which helped raise more funds, which is helping to give it more add-ons. So like the more the temple makes, the more they do cool stuff to it. So yeah, there was some really, it was pretty wild.
And then they do like concerts and light shows and stuff at night too. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that was pretty wild. I wasn't sure what that was exactly about. Not sure if that was a concert or if those guys were just there to make the light things go all wonkies, and I don't
There's a
know.
lot of sound systems though.
Yeah, but
Like they were
we
setting
never.
up speakers, wasn't just the lights.
Yeah, I mean, for all we know, they could have done chanting monk stuff, and I don't, you know. We didn't actually witness what the speakers were doing.
Mm-mm. And we saw so many dogs and cats, and they were all so sweet.
Yes. Oh, there was one point on our way to the golden, or yeah, the golden triangle. There was one point we had to go. There was like a slanted wall on the left-hand side of the car, and then like what we're driving on is flat, and then it just drops off on the right-hand side, and above this wall, just a little bit taller than what the car is a lake essentially, and the water is overflowing over this wall, and we're driving through that water, and then it's like a waterfall off the other side. I've never driven across essentially a river like that before. I don't know how normal that is, but that seemed really unusual to me.
It was kind of fun.
You know, I mean, I wasn't complaining or anything. It just that was, I could just imagine if there was like a heavy rain or something, crossing there might be a lot more dangerous because it's a drop off on the other side. So like if the water came over suddenly, whoosh. And I don't know if you've ever seen like when there's rain upstream, water can come through as a sudden surge. Like there's reasons why that's a little bit terrifying.
Not as terrifying as that. What was that place in India? Remember we saw that video?
With the mountain that came down
Mm.
the hill thing, the landslide
The
one.
one where they are constantly like raiding, and the kids have to go to school crossing this
Oh yeah, that's
the river over climbing over the logs and stuff.
yeah. Yeah, that's kind of. So when I chose the colors for this bag, I was not thinking, you know, Valentine's, you know, February thing or something. I just picked out colors that I thought would be kind of cool. And it turns out here we are in February, and I'm doing a very pink kind of bag. So go figure. So we went to lots of markets and lots of stuff looking for various souvenirs and cool. I got this cool shirt in Thailand. I got several of them actually. It's 100% cotton, but it's woven like uh linen. So they're super comfortable, super airy.
It was so nice we had to go back.
Yeah. Yeah.
What else did we do? Oh, we had dinner at a place called Cabbages and Condoms.
Yes, we did. Well, we went out that day. That was the tattoo day.
Yes.
We got tattoos, and then we asked the tattoo lady where's a good place to go and have our lunch, and she sent us off to this crazy, gigantic, I'm not even kidding, like the biggest warehouse type thing I've ever seen. Um, Market of all kinds of things. And so we went there and we kind of picked at some foods, and then we went and had coffee with like right in that area. And while we were sitting there having coffee, Mandy spots a book called Cabbage and Condoms. And she's just having a little chuckle over this. And it turns out this dude was all about trying to get people in Thailand to practice safe sex. And he became super popular and known for his whole motivation or whatever. And he had these restaurants.
His first name is now like the generic term for condoms in the country.
Right. Like how Kleenex is really a brand
Yes.
name, and yeah.
Yes. Or Xerox or
Yeah, totally. So
yeah, his name is
now
now like if you say his name at a drugstore, they'll know you're looking for condoms.
yeah. So yeah, pretty crazy stuff like that. It's so yeah, so we were like, oh, that's pretty funny. That's, blah blah blah. And then we were gonna go out, and there was like a night market thing we wanted to go to. And then we find out in no, I don't think it was Johnny. I have no idea what it was, but I don't think it was Johnny. Ah, is Mandy pulling that up? Michael. All right. No. One loop down. 3 more to go.
So anyway, apparently the reason he became known as the cabbages and condoms guy is because he said that you can go to any shop around Thailand and you will always find cabbages. Condoms should be like cabbages, ubiquitous. And so the name cabbages and condoms came about. Now there are cabbages and condoms hotels and restaurants and cafes, and they all kind of raise funds for the cause.
Yeah, like Bob Barker was all about like spade and neuter your pet. This guy was like, you know, don't make babies if you really don't want babies.
Not don't spread disease.
Right.
We eat so much veggies.
We always eat a lot of veggies when we go to Thailand. Thailand, for some odd reason, and we can't quite figure out why. Earlier on, we were thinking maybe, volcanic action or something like that. But then, kind of looking at the geography, it's not. But for some odd reason, vegetables in Thailand are just, they just taste better. Like, I'm not a big veggie eating kind of guy. Like, that's not my thing. But in Thailand, oh man, I can't help it. Like, that's just good stuff. So I'm kind of curious. Should I put two loops together and then join them, or should I start working on making all four loops for today?
Mm-hmm.
What makes the most sense? Probably making the loops, right? Trying to get all four done. Yeah, it is super quiet. Yeah, I'm thinking you're right. I think that way, if whatever else the intro video for next week can be about the whole putting together the loops things. It's dark than that, than dark. So Rainbow, have you been following any of the stuff going on in the US? It's seems to be kind of hilarious to me that apparently Taylor Swift made one like Instagram post because she was unhappy with something from her home state, which, if I'm not mistaken, was Kentucky. She didn't like the way one of the politicians was doing the things for the people of her state, and so she basically told people to get registered for voting, and like almost immediately 54,000 people registered to vote, and it suddenly has the Republicans freaking out. They're afraid that she's going to endorse Biden, and suddenly celebrities shouldn't speak up on such things, and you know, they're basically saying who would want to marry her. She's 34 years old. What's the point? She's, kind of getting too old to have children already, and just horrific stuff. It's like they were more than happy to have endorsements from like Ted Nugent, but suddenly now celebrities should keep their mouths shut, which is absolutely funny. Yeah. Oh yeah. So like, yeah, that was a funny thing. So the Senate wanted to have a word with all of the social medias again, dragged the TikTok guys in, dragged in just all of the different socials. I think the main interest was, are you guys trying to rot our kid's brain? Kind of. That was the where it was supposed to be. But one of the senators just really lost his mind with the guy from TikTok who is like, did you support the Chinese? They're like, no, I'm Singaporean. He's like, oh, well, do you support the whatever, the communist China thing? It just kept on about China, 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 and just wouldn't let. This guy's like, look, I'm from Singapore. No, no. What do you like? It just didn't make sense. It was so crazy.
Like, are you a citizen of another country? Do you have a passport from another? Where's your passport from? Like,
Yeah, he just kept going on and on. Like, no, but sure, you're from Singapore, but you love China, don't you? You like the communists, don't you? Like, the guy's like, no, I'm from Singapore. What do you like? Stop.
I mean, his great 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 grandfather might have been from China, but that was about it.
Right. Yeah, it was too much.
The irony is that he speaks with an American accent
Right.
because he probably, like,
He probably went to school
studied
in
there
there,
and
right?
grew up, spent a big
Right.
part of his time there. His wife is from there, I think.
That one senator with, can we just agree that what you do is the real you and the rest is all just cottage cheese? Like, what the hell was that supposed to mean? What? 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 That's, I have never heard the term. I've never heard any those words in a sentence like that before. I don't.
I felt bad for cottage cheese.
I felt bad for the guy that was getting the question because they're expected to answer. Like, my mouth would have just fallen open, and I would just been like,
Your mouth would
was
have fallen
was
open. I would have just like poked my head to one side, like,
was that even English? Like,
I'd be a dog.
yeah. Are you?
Like, what? Say that?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and so back to the Taylor Swift thing. I just saw Barkley talking about the fact that he witnessed people yelling at Taylor Swift, saying that she has ruined football because like their team lost and hers, the guy that she's dating or whatever is now off to the Super Bowl. Um, that they're blaming her for their team's loss, like it's your fault. And there's even word, like people are speculating that um that team, I don't even know which team she's got a boyfriend with, whatever, that team is going to win the Super Bowl and it's a rigged game, and that once that happens, and they have everybody's attention, that's when she's going to endorse Biden. And everybody's just like, there's like these wicked crazy conspiracy things going on. It's absolutely just, it's it's crazy. I don't know. Oh, but Barkley wasn't having it. He's like, if you think, if you're one of those people, you're a moron, you're an idiot, you're whatever. Like he was like really like angry about this idea that you would say this kind of stuff to this woman. So I'm not sure. I kind of feel like the second loop kind of maybe came together just a little bit faster. Maybe it's because I kind of knew what I was doing a little more. I don't know. So yeah, I think the Senators did better though this time around with social media, because it wasn't that long ago that one of the Senators cornered um, the guy from Facebook. What's his name? Mark Zuckerberg. They cornered Zuckerberg, and he's like, "You don't charge people for your app, so how do you make money?" And Zuckerberg just looked at him like, "We we have
I
advertisements."
remember that.
And the senator was like so ready with the "ha ha, I gotcha," and then got hit with "we have advertisements," and then was just like, oh, no further questions. Like, he was just so. But seriously, the people asking these questions, people doing this stuff, like, if you elect morons because whatever reason, you can't expect decent policy, things to represent you, whatever it is. You can't expect good things to happen when the people you're electing are so old they don't understand technology. They can't make laws to protect you, and your privacy and stuff, if they don't understand what these the technology and the tools and the things that are going on today are even about. So it doesn't make any sense to me why everybody in the Senate seems to be, born in the 40s and 50s. It just doesn't. I don't get it. I don't. At this point, you're just like, he's a nice guy. He's been working there for a long time. There's no sense in firing him. You know, no, get somebody in there that knows what the heck is going on or going to make changes to help, you guys and society in general. And not these people who think that the Civil War was, just a quarrel.
It's not even really about age, so
No, I suppose not. I suppose that you could have somebody who's older who,
think about like here with LKY,
right.
and he stayed in tune with technology and everything that's going on and trendy and social media stuff until he was what 90
Right.
plus.
Well, he surrounded himself with people to help him with everything. Like
No, but he wanted to learn.
sure, right. I don't
He
see
didn't
that in
think he
America.
knew everything, and
There,
that was it.
one of the congressmen was, there's a whole video. I'll try to find it for you. It's hilarious. He wanted to know what we should call these. What should we call this? It's not just a phone anymore. There's a whole world of stuff in there. You can look stuff up, and it's got all this technology. It's amazing. So it shouldn't just be a phone. It needs like a new name for it. I was like, are you kidding me? Is this guy doing this for a bit? It doesn't. I, seriously. Hmm. I mean, I guess if he had been doing it as a bit, it would have been kind of funny. The problem was there was no
He
sign of
was
it being a
sincere.
bit. Yeah, he was pretty serious. I just noticed something though. Your phone is upside down from how you usually have it, right?
Yes.
I think your microphone is. Oh wait, no, it's your computer's microphone that's giving me the thing. Somehow your typing isn't quite as obtrusive.
But
Normally, well, maybe I've just got my volume down lower. That could be it. I don't know. Normally, your typing makes me insane. Oh, you guys should have seen it. So when we first got to Thailand, pretty late at night, and Mandy discovered that if we put the luggage on one of those little push trolley things and we stack it the right way, she can have a nice little spot to sit like a princess and get wheeled around all over the airport. And I kept telling her, like, you do realize, like, all the other girls around here are going to be jealous.
Whee!
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah, we had pizza tonight, but I have to say this was not. We should have paid extra and just gotten the Little Caesars.
Yeah, it wasn't great. And
I'm gonna start with the whole fact that I'm pretty sure that part of why it wasn't great was because it's challah, and good pepperoni is not challah. It's piggies. I mean, there's some things that I don't mind. It can be challah. I don't care. But pizza, real pepperonis are nice. So far, this is not so bad because we're right up at the top. I can look at the pattern. I can see where I am. Direction is not an issue. I can, however, foresee that it's going to become a little bit more troublesome as we move along because these spirals go all over the place. Oh, we were at that market and we saw all those cross stitch things. I don't, I'm gonna guess you wouldn't know like how much the costs were, but it's like 100 of their dollars is like four of our dollars. And like four of our dollars is probably like maybe three or less of yours. So like any of those like crazy high looking prices are not at all what those things actually cost. They were really, really cheap. And there was just kits after kits after kits for the embroidery stuff. I was just like, oh man, you would have been in trouble. I could just see the possibility of buying so many. Oh, and they had some crazy different flosses. So like one of the like that was like one of our first days out, right? We ended up going to a shop that had embroidery floss, and like I lost my mind. I spent what, about $50 in on strings for a guy who has so much floss that he doesn't know what to do with it. Another $50 was like crazy, especially considering how cheap that stuff was. It was, yeah, she was going at it, man. She was cranking it out. I don't know how they can work in such low lighting or whatever, but I'm sure she's been at it for a while and just has it all figured out or whatever.
I wonder if it's good genes. Think about it. How many Thai people did you see wearing glasses?
Well, didn't we learn that a lot of the people here wearing glasses is because they don't get enough outdoor time? The myopia? Did I say that right? Almost feel like I said that right.
Maybe because okay, in Singapore, myopia is almost an epidemic.
Sure.
Start really young,
Yep.
but then
And
we also have
and it's way more Chinese people than it is Malays that have it. But when you look at the Malay kids, they're the only ones that are outside on the playgrounds. All the
right,
Chinese kids are all inside studying.
right, and devices are not helping.
Right.
Um, but like I said, when you look at the size, how many did you see
Not a lot.
in general
Not a
wearing
lot.
glasses?
No. So Rainbow, I should have Mandy send you the link for where this light came from, because it is not a studio light. I don't even know what you would describe it as, but it works. It's light. It's a lot of light. I've had to shield off the sides and stuff because having it too much in my face was killing me. But yeah, it wasn't badly priced. Nice little setup. Okay, right on. Yeah, I know that if I don't have the right kind of lighting, though, I can't see to save myself, just not work. But this better lighting, I don't need my glasses nearly as much. I think somebody here keeps losing their connection. My little graph that shows like who's here keeps showing like a drop off. That's kind of weird. So this, I seriously think this is going to be a really, really good looking bag. This has got all kinds of stuff going on that just makes it, you know, fun to look at. The contrasts are really good. It's going to be a lot of fun. Not that the rainbow bag wasn't fun. The rainbow bag was a lot of fun. The rainbow bag was easy. I liked that part. I liked not having to look at patterns. Oh man. So we went to, I've really early on, one of the earlier days of hanging out there, we went to a shopping mall there that was pretty huge. That was a lot of fun. Mandy got a Dalek that's built. It's all like steel and bolts and
Steampunk talent.
yeah, it's over your head. I'm sure you can't reach it. It's on the shelf above you. But yeah, a very steampunk Dalek. Um, we wandered around the whole mall, and I was just like, we can't go home without picking up steampunk Dalek. So Mandy's like, I'm gonna sit here. You're gonna go back to the whole other side of this gigantic space and go get the Dalek and come back, and I'll be here waiting for you. That's turning out pretty cool. All right, that's two down.
Oh.
I know, right? And I don't know what was different about this side, but man, this side, the strings are seriously like more mixed up. I'm having like harder time pairing off the strands. Sorry if I've suddenly gotten very, very super quiet here. I'm like seriously trying to concentrate on making threads pair up nicely. I'm a firm believer that having your work start off nice is perhaps more important than most of the rest of everything that you do, because when it starts off nice, everything works together better and it makes the rest of the work turn out nicer, and it's a whole thing. It's the I don't know if you've ever seen it. There was an artist who did this thing where he would build brick walls. Um, it's on a perfectly smooth floor, but then he'd put a book like right in the middle, and then the bricks would kind of go up and over the book. And it starts off sort of okay, but as more and more layers build, the area underneath the book just gets more jumbled and more messy, and um, doesn't look like a nice wall. And it just kind of, and I'm sure his whole thing was about like, a metaphor for learning and how that changes, the future for you or for generations and stuff. Um,
but it works really good for knots. So who's playing tennis, sweetheart?
As in currently, like the players,
Yes.
Felix Auger-Aliassime and Alex Bubik. They're in Montpellier
Where?
on a very, very pink court.
Where is that? I
Uh, France.
Oh, that's weird. So they went from Australia right to France?
Mm.
Does this happen every year?
Hmm?
I thought like the Australian Open was like the beginning of like things in Australia for a little while, like some of like the other.
No, it's like it. The Australian Open is the culmination of the Australian leg.
But you know, like when like the U.S. Open, then next thing you know, there's a whole bunch of tennis all over the U.S.
No, it happens before it.
Okay, well, whatever. They stay in like an area. They don't jump. Not like I mean, that's like halfway around the world. That's like a ridiculous.
Yeah, Australia is kind of,
The farthest
in the
away
ocean.
from. Yeah.
So basically, like, it'll start off in Adelaide and then move on to Melbourne. The United Cup was in Sydney and Perth.
But I thought the Australian Open was the beginning of the year. Like that's
The first big thing. Well, except for the United Cup now, that's obviously bigger, just that it's country.
right.
But no, typically you have a couple of small ones, the 250s, maybe a 500, and then the big one. Right now it's all the 250s in various places, I guess. I think there's one in Dallas, a couple in France. There's typically one in South America somewhere.
So wait, if
Because there are players who basically just stick to the clay.
right, okay. So wait, these
Then the
250s going
next
on right now
500 will
are
be in
clay
a
or
lot of them.
are these 250s are these clay or these hard courts?
Hard. Hard.
Okay.
Clay. The only clay ones will be South America
Okay.
for now. And then
So wait, how okay.
yes.
Not that I would want to be cheaty, but if I was in the sport, I would want to know where certain people were going to be before I pick which tournament I'm going to. I.e., that guy is going there, I'm going somewhere else. You know, that kind. I mean, because you kind of know wherever the Djokovic or the Alcaraz goes, you're unless
Yeah,
you're
but
like
typically where
Sinner.
they go is also where the big points and the big money goes.
Yeah, but if those are all 250s, it's all the same points. You could get your points, maybe not as much money, but you could get your points, and you could kind
So
of
there is that. I mean, but there are only so many tournaments.
right. But as long as you're gonna do better if you're not at the one right. I mean, okay, yes, you could be at the one with the Djokovic where there's more money, but you're not gonna make it to 1 and 2 position. So you go to the other one, they don't have as much money, but you end up winning higher. You still take home more. It's got to be, right? I mean, I'm I don't want to get in trouble with the tennis association here for giving away secrets, but I mean, come on, that's got to be a thing. Like, as much as having a good coach, I would want a good statistician on my side, right? Because,
The best coaches are also good statisticians.
okay, because if there's got to be like something in those numbers there, like knowing that
It's not,
if
actually it's not difficult because most of the time the top dogs will play the same tournaments every year. Reason for that is because if they win, or well, regardless, basically they're defending points from the last year.
wait, do they get to keep the points that they had from the year before if they win again?
Yes. Because you also lose points if you lose. Basically, it's kind of like you're gambling your points from last year. Because every kind of like when we were doing the YouTube watch hours thing,
right.
For every day you gain, you lose a day.
Sure, that's what I thought it worked. But then you're saying that if you win that day, you get to keep the old ones. That's not a rolling thing. That's you get bonus things. That's different.
So yeah, but if you lose or you don't defend it, then you automatically lost those points. So chances are you are going to
wait.
return to the same tournament every year. Which means that if somebody else wanted to avoid you, they would just not go to that tournament every year.
Wait, I'm still not 100% sure. The rolling thing makes sense. I totally get if tennis is a rolling thing where you lose the last year's points because last year is over. Now this is the new year. You get those points. That would make perfect sense. Like, if you won the same tournament 5 years in a row, do you get to have all 5 years worth of points all tacked onto your? No, right? So you don't even get last year's points. Those points fell off. You're just looking to keep that number because you win it. If you lose, you're not losing extra. You're just losing what you could have gotten at this time.
Yes and no.
So let's say over the course of a year, it was 10 tournaments, each for 100 points, right? And you keep going and you keep winning and you keep getting those same 10 tournaments all year. You'd always still be just 1,000 points, right?
Yes.
Right. And then if you lose one of the tournaments, now you're down to 900. Yeah, that's the same as the watch hour thing. But so it doesn't matter if you defended your title. Let's say you played random place, Australia. You played the Australia one, you got your 100 points last year. But this year it looks like, you know what? I got a better chance of winning in Spain, and you still win your 100 points. It didn't matter if you defended or not. As long as you win the tournament for that week, you're still the same.
But there's something to be said in sports about momentum.
You still have momentum if you're still winning it for that week.
Yeah, but how do you know you're going to win at the new place?
Because
if you go to the same place every year, you know it. You know how the court feels. You know how the balls feel. You know how the weather's going to be for the most part, especially if it's indoors.
Uh-huh.
You know what the conditions are.
Right. Okay. But so maybe, so you know what it's like, but maybe you didn't like it. Maybe it wasn't your,
Yeah, then you
it's
wouldn't
kind of,
have one there.
no,
Then
that's
you
not,
might not
you,
stay. The point is that if you do well in a place, you tend to go back every single year.
yeah. I mean, just because you won doesn't mean like it wasn't a squeak by win or that you got lucky and the big dog got knocked out and you, as a fluke, get to go forward and end
No,
up
we're
playing
talking
against a
now about the
douchebag.
big dogs where they go so that you can avoid them.
Sure.
So I'm saying the big dogs don't
But let's say,
jump
let's say,
around.
let's say, let's say you're maybe not sinner, but maybe the balls felt funny. Yeah. Maybe they're not as fuzzy as you like them, you know. But you happened to win, and the only reason you won is because somebody like Warwick accidentally knocked out a Drakovic, and he was easy for you to beat, and so you won it. But it was a complete fluke, and you know that there's no way that shit's ever gonna happen again. So you just kind of scuttle off and you find a new location to go, get your
No,
points and
no,
get your monies.
no, because tennis players are super, and like most athletes, are superstitious.
Yeah, I'd rather have
If I got lucky, if I got lucky
statisticians than
this year,
superstitious.
I could get lucky again next year.
I'd rather have statistician than superstition. And fuzzy balls. I think I'm going to set this to the side for a minute to get the last one started. I don't know where the whole thing will end up tonight, but I'd like to have all four of these essentially started for next week. Oh, I don't know why I'm so obsessed about this whole Taylor Swift thing, but it's absolutely just delightful. Um, so she watched a football game and then she had to like run off and catch a plane because she's got some eras. I think that's the tour name is eras tour thing going on where she's playing in Japan. And I have never heard of this for anybody, but one of the ministers of Japan is assuring that after she's done her concert, that there'll be enough time for her to catch a flight back to the U.S. in time to see the Super Bowl. I have never seen Japanese officials get concerned whether or not a U.S. citizen will have enough time to get back to see something. Like that's just like that's so cute. And like the late night guys are saying that this is going to be the most watched flight since we put a man on the moon. Like it's just it's crazy. I've never this we live in the time of bizarro world.
So what are they gonna do? Clear the streets?
I'm I would not be surprised if they did give her like the presidential escort to get her off to the airport. And like we know that that like when it comes to time and stuff, when it comes to Japan, like they are crazy meticulous. I would imagine they would make exceptions just to make sure that they get her on that flight. Like they're just it's it's mind blowing to me. I've never heard of anything like this before. No politicians, no whatever got like such high level, you know, caring that we're going to make sure we get you home in time.
Yeah, I can imagine that happening here.
I mean, okay, to give you an idea, in case you don't follow like this is just basic news stuff. Like I don't like follow Taylor Swift things, but um I think it was Seattle, one of the tours in the US, again, I think it was Seattle. There was a point in the concert where she got everybody in the stadium to jump, and it registered as a small earthquake. Like, seriously, the girl has got some power. I want to find out where that was. I like being accurate. Hang on one second. Yeah. So CBS News actually shows the moment it happened. Do, 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 do. It was registered as a 2.3 earthquake. And it was in Seattle. Yep. It registered signals on the nearby seismometer, roughly equivalent to a magnitude 2.3 earthquake. That is impressive. Um, yeah, I don't think so. I just, there is something awesome about the fact that a woman is making an entire political party squirm. I love that. I think that's awesome. The fact that a singer, an artist, can create earthquakes. I think that's pretty cool. I'm not saying that I need my fandom to rock the earth or anything, but I mean, come on. If we we need to we need to get them numbers up. Come on. We could make earthquakes, you know. I need Phil to back me up on this. You, you can almost imagine, the scientists have realized that the what we need to do to fix the global warming is to get the Earth access to shift just a little bit, so that way the angle is a little bit more, so that way the winters can get a little colder and the summers are whatever. And that these government leaders and scientists have to go to Taylor Swift because she has the power to get there. If we get all the fans together in Norway or something, at this time of year, the angle will. I could see it. That could happen. That'd be hilarious.
Why am I picturing Captain Planet?
I can't picture the cartoon that's in my head where this kind of idea came from. Um, but the band looked like Metallica, but it was way more hilarious. It was stupid. Wait, maybe Rainbow knows. What was what was the late night cartoon things where it was like a heavy metal band that had the government's always watching over them, and most of their antics were just really just dumb things. Oh man, I used to love that. It was an Adult Swim one. It was like Mega something. Oh man, why can't I think? I haven't seen it in so long. That's probably why I can't remember it. All right. Do, 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 do. Adult Swim cartoon heavy metal band. Deathlock is a fictional melodic death metal band featuring the Adult Swim animation television series Metalocalypse, known for satirical and uh, yeah. They, the one guy, he's like, he didn't like Christmas, and the other guy's like, oh, I love it. It's so metal. You take the tree and then you dress it all up in all this little pansy stuff, like to as if you're trying to humiliate it. The other guy's like, yeah, I'm starting to like Christmas too. Oh man, hilarious stuff. It's like the CIA used to have to keep an eye on them because they had the power of all the youth, and they had they were these guys will for sure be taking over the world anytime now. And then you see them behind the scenes arguing over like some of the dumbest stuff ever. Like they were just like regular dipshits that just happened to have a huge audience and sung like crazy heavy metal stuff and happened to look kind of a bit like Metallica. Except for like the one guy, he was like he had dreads, but like he lost most of his hair, so it didn't look great. So funny. If you ever get a chance, just kind of look it up. It is really funny. It is really. I'm not sure where they were supposed to be from. I don't think it was America. But the fact that like American government was like seriously about watching them and stuff, I think that part even made it funnier. You can hear kids screaming outside. Kid's got some lungs on him, man. For me to be able to hear him in the office like that. So speaking of Phil, has anybody heard from him? Like, it's been ages now. I haven't seen any notifications for his YouTube channel to say that he's streaming or otherwise. Yeah, I hope he's okay too. Oh, so one of the things about my whole getting a Windows update, that is kind of neat is it has this thing where if you drag a window up to the top of your screen, you can choose how you want the window to get divided. Like before, I could kind of split it one thing to one half, one thing to the other half. But now there's like options where you can like fit 4 things together at once and or 3 things and just all kinds of other like weird configurations. However, and I don't understand this at all, certain apps refuse to work with this system. One of them is
like Discord.
one is Discord and one is OBS. OBS refuses to get squished to the half of the screen. It wants 2/3 or nothing. It's angry about that if it doesn't get its space. And then yeah, Discord is another one. It just will not squish. I don't get it. It's not like that shouldn't be allowed. Especially when like for the most part I don't need half the things that it's forcing me to have up on the screen. I don't need to see all the scenes and the sources and the audio mixer and stuff so much. It's not necessary. I know.
I think OBS is almost more understandable than Discord.
That's true. Agreed. Well, most of the time I don't need Discord open except for the fact that if somebody joins, I'm going to want to look at it. But other than that, most of the time it can just be minimalized. I'm seriously, though, trying to find a way. Like, okay, so this bag is harder than, say, the last rainbow one, right? So that one was easy. I didn't need to look at a pattern. This one's a little bit harder. Need to watch the pattern. At some point soon, and I don't know which one it is, it gets so hard that I actually have to tick off areas that I've done. And so that has got to be somewhere where I can do it. I've talked about the fact that I would probably share that with the audience as it's going on. So I have to figure out ways of being able to split up the screens in order to make all that kind of stuff work. And at the moment, I just can't quite figure out how to do it when OBS refuses to play nice. It might be like this, though. This might actually work, where I now have the chat opened up in its own separate thing. Like, that's kind of cool. That's kind of working for me. Your phone shifted. You're suddenly very off-centered.
My phone hasn't moved.
The Mandy cam seems very
No idea why. But apart from the fact that my phone's the other way around, so the camera isn't where it should be.
I would try to fix it, but I think it's one of those things that would break the sound and stuff. Wow. So my chart says everybody stopped watching for just a moment. The heck is that about? Oh, it
We
came
can
back.
do it in the after party.
Yes.
We can fix it in the after party.
Yes, yes.
Choice of words. Before Rainbow pulls out the sorry children again.
So it says we have like 3 viewers. It also says that we've dropped to 2 periodically. And it also says that there's been an occasional 4th popping in and out, sort of. Let's show you what that looks like. I'm not even 100% sure what that means, but it doesn't sound good. A knot in your string? So like as you're just knotting along, it just got tangled and knotted up? That would be bad. Well, not intentionally. Sounds to me like she's nodding. So I used to have that happen, and it used to have something to do with the way that the string would get all spinning around. So like every once in a while, I'd have to like drop the needle, let it stop spinning, and then go back to doing my thing. Did you get all gangster? Now I'm gonna have to cut up. I'm not gonna say the word. Could be kids watching. I don't. I have sound effects, but I don't have a beep button. I just double checked just in case. I don't have a beep. I'm trying really hard to like, do I know what railroading means? Nope. I don't think so. What's that ridiculous movie that I love so much that murder was it called Murder by Death?
Hmm.
Was that the one? It was Murder by something. I think it's Murder by Death. Hang on. Do, 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 do. My need for research is great. Yeah, Murder by Death was a 1976 film. It had that Columbo guy in it, Peter Sellers, Peter Falk, David Niven, Maggie Smith, Alex Guinness, Truman Capote. Truman Capote. Um, the railroading thing got me because in that movie, the address is 22 and the street is Twain. And somebody realized it was 22 Twain. And the child in me still loves that. Okay. Oh, right. I knew that it sounded familiar, and that for some odd reason, my brain couldn't latch onto what it was. Like there was just a nugget of something in there. It was like, we've talked about this. And yeah. Sometimes I think I have to like actually see it in action. Like talking about something doesn't quite stick the same as either doing it or watching it. Like my brain just does not. Yeah. So we technically now have all four loops started. They're not all at equal places yet, but they're all started. So that tedious process of getting them going, or at least we're past all of that now. That's kind of nice. I suspect that next week will be all about getting them joined together. I'm going to guess if we can get the four loops done, we're probably going to be basically all the way to getting a cylinder next week. Well, okay, we could get a cylinder next week, or we can put the four things together and then come down a ways and see how far we can take that. That might be more fun. And then the cylinder the week after. Then we could have like distinct things for the beginning video stuffs. Why does your camera seem like you're have a blue hue to you? Have you noticed that? Mishmandi? You're looking a little blue over there.
Blue?
Yes.
White balance?
Maybe. Oh, okay. God, slow. Yes. Well done. So far this new Mandycam thing seems to be all right. And you're plugged in with a charger thing, so the fact that you can actually do that, that's a huge bonus over the previous one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I saw somewhere in the settings there was some kind of way that you can turn on using the USB. So if you want to actually, instead of doing Wi-Fi, if you want to send it directly to a computer, like if you were still in this room, you could
Yep.
jack in that way as well. Thought that was pretty cool. Which would mean that it would give me the ability to have one extra camera in here.
Not an ad.
Really? What's they trying to sell you?
No idea.
Oh my God, that ad that I sent you earlier for Paramount? Throw the football headed kid?
Mm-hmm.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, I don't even remember what the ad was for. I just remember the ad.
Paramount. They're all actors from various things that Paramount has, apparently.
All right. And they isn't Paramount expanding something bought over something major
Mm,
Hulu or something?
I thought it was it Disney was buying Hulu? Disney was getting somebody. I thought it might be Hulu. I still have to laugh every time I think about Hulu. I went into work after watching an episode of Screensavers or whatever Screensavers became after it. It was Screensaver. Do you remember Screensavers? Olivia Munn was one of the presenters, and there was Kevin. I remember. I don't even remember Kevin's last name because Kevin was no Olivia Munn. Kevin was cool. He was no Olivia Munn. Um, so that show was about technology, cool games and gadgets and all that kind of stuff. And they brought up Hulu. Like Hulu was pretty darn new and they were talking about it and I went and I checked it out. And I went to work losing my mind. And I told the guys at work, you guys got to check this out. This is going to be the future of TV. And they were like, no, it's not. No, no, you know, absolutely adamant that no, streaming wasn't going to be a thing. It's never going to catch on. Well, who's going to want to pay or who's going to want a service like that, where I'm like, do you not get the fact that in order to like say watch a sitcom like Friends, you had to be home at Thursday at 8 p.m. every Thursday to catch the episodes in order. Otherwise, you just caught them randomly as reruns later. You know, that's difficult. Being able to watch it when you want, being able to pause it to get up and go to the toilet. To me, this was like, this is it. This is 100% the future. Nope, 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 nope. Super adamant about it. And now look at it. Like, it's everywhere. It's it's so the future. Like even regular TV channels like Paramount created their own streaming service because regular TV wasn't cutting it anymore. Like that's awesome. It's pretty safe to say that those knuckleheads don't watch my channels, so
If they did, haha.
yeah, I really don't care. You guys are morons. I totally saw it. Oh, sometime possibly this next week, I should have some of my own gear from the little links that are down below. Like you probably see, I don't know what you might see, but like t-shirts and bags and all that kind of stuff. I'm getting a bunch of that stuff. I am really excited about it too. Should be a lot of fun. Some Don't Break the Kevin merch and I don't know what cool stuff. Oh, I also, so I didn't come up with this idea myself. Somebody asked me if I would work out a deal where they pay for like 5 bracelets and I just send them 5 bracelets. Something to that effect. I don't know how it got worded or whatever, but they wanted 5 bracelets, dealer's choice kind of thing. And I was like, oh heck yeah, let's do that. We worked out a sales price for 5 bracelets. So on top of the fact that no matter what I send, they're right off the top, they got a discount. But then I went a little bit nuts and like a couple of the bracelets were definitely like not from that price range. And they might watch. I don't know. If hello, if if you're the person, like when I said that you're probably going to be really happy with what I did, that's why. A couple of those bracelets are nice big fat ones that are really pretty intense and yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to be very very happy with it what I sent. So yeah, anybody else that wants to do that one, I'm all for it. That's kind of neat. Let me choose bracelets and yeah. A couple of them were like really recent made stuff too. Like stuff that like I think the videos are out, but if they've only just recently came out. And that's why they weren't in the shop yet and why they get to go, you know, save me from having to go find them in the shop. That was kind of cool. Save me from doing extra work. Yep, Rainbow got me with the song in my head now. Well, better something like that than earlier Mandy's dad, who we've talked about having dementia. He's got this new thing where he likes to pat out the drums on the couch and stuff. And now he's got this sort of a rocked out version of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star that's got its own like little drum solos. I I can't even I can't I it's he's also drumming. So some of the songs that he used to sing all the words by like heart, like now I don't know if like in his head he's now taking up the chorus version of the song, and in his head the lead person is doing the main part, and he's just kind of drumming along, but he like skips some of the words and replaces it with the drums. I have no idea like kind of where what he's thinking as he's doing this, but that's something completely new and weird and different. This isn't bad. We're really kind of getting a long ways into all these. Kind of pleased. Because I remember when we started like the rainbow bag, we only got like half of the thing started the first time, and then we got that second half the next weekend, and then we joined it the weekend after that, and then the weekend after that we made it a cylinder. Like kind of getting all the loops in at once seems kind of like a huge thing. Oh man, I just looked up and saw the Hershey pie thing. Was like, I would like a Hershey pie. That would make a great little evening snacky. I have this new thing. Okay, so this is weird. I haven't had this issue with sweets since I quit smoking. But lately, I absolutely been craving sweets. I can't explain why all of a sudden, but yeah, I really just want sweets. Like when I quit smoking, that was like a long ass time ago. When I quit smoking, there was a duration where I suddenly discovered like, I like candy. But that kind of died off after a while. I don't know what's up with that. Usually I think cravings like have good reason, some kind of a logical something, but craving sweet does not make any sense. Hang on, I'm gonna try. Yes, I forgot to show you guys this earlier. This is the schedule for the week. So pretty much working every day except for Wednesday and Friday. Friday is the Chinese New Year. So I wonder how confusing this is going to get after these things join, because I just realized like one of the key elements that's helping me to see where I am is based on the idea of like just from this loop down. But once it starts to get wider and whatever, like this might actually get more confusing, especially since these things go in different directions. Like that's the part that's basically we're going to probably need disclaimers for anybody who plays the AKA AWOL drinking game, where when I make boo-boos, they drink. We might need disclaimers in the very near future saying that I'm not responsible for alcohol poisoning, because there's the possibility that this could get a little bit difficult for me. You know, I charged my headphones so I could have my headphones for this evening and then completely forgot about them. Also, I discovered something based on an ADHD um, Instagram thing, that apparently they've come up with something that they're calling 8 8D audio, which basically all they've done is they're just taking regular music and they're mixing it and they're just heavy shifting from left to right. It's not even that they went like, I've got surround sound, so I can tell if you make the music go around, and it's not. They're just shifting from left to right, which is sort of cool. And I kind of get why it has an effect for the ADHD brain, because it keeps shifting sides. It is kind of relaxing. There is something it does scratch and itch, and it's kind of nice. But calling it 8D is stupid. You're basically playing with a stereo knob and you're shifting it back and forth. And I'm old school. I remember quad sound. I know some really good music that takes advantage of quad, and it's not more advanced than that stuff was. It's not more advanced than quad. But like I said, it's still interesting. It still does neat stuff for the ADHD brain. So, oh yeah, that would not be fun. Rethreading every 3 stitches, that would be hell. actually, I learned how to stitch where I could, pull the string through, and then, because that's when you really have to let it hang down, is when your strings are stupid lengths. Um, I learned how to do that way back when because I hated threading a needle. And hey, just string things. Hello. I've seen your project. You made it's looking really, really good. I'm not sure how much wider you have to go, but that's it's so much work. Well, you missed the first part of this stream, which is kind of an experiment of mine. Um, Kind of changing up the intro thing a bit, where I kind of show a little bit of a what led up to this point. So like next week's will include like what happened tonight. It's kind of confusing. In my head, I have like an idea of how the whole thing works, but I can't explain it. But you'll have to go back later and check out the beginning of this thing and let me know what you think. Because I think it's kind of cool. I mean, the part that I kind of screwed up on is some of the recording of Mandy doing the kumis. I didn't show where that happened because that was in that restaurant that was on the rooftop thing. Um, that was in Thailand. That was a first off, that was a really cool restaurant. We were the only people there, and so we like had cameras out and doing all kinds of stuff with that. But yeah, it would have been kind of cool to show the setting a little bit more. Live and learn, I guess. It's this whole concept of recording on the road is sort of a whole new thing for me. So you have to find out how to do that better. Ah, okay. Yeah, that's going to be an exciting part of the whole process when you start to put things together. Because that's when is its biggest. When you have the two, when you have that piece and the other piece, that's when it takes up the most space until you get it to roll back around. I know this from some previous things that I've done. All right, so let's see. Do, 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 do. So the first one I didn't do the one things out at the end here. Hang on. swap this for this. It's only a difference of a couple knots, but I might as well hook this up. So yeah, 4 of these, man. That's really, really good. I'm not sure if that tells me anything about like how many weeks this whole thing will take, because this is sort of like a box. I can kind of see how that works on the pattern. I feel like it's gonna take a while. I have no idea, but yeah, I've got some extra clips here. Let's see if we can do something. For some reason, that's up really high. There we go. That's what we come. I don't. So I'm having a hard time judging on my monitor. That's looking more like reds. Does it look like reds on your screen, Mandy?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's very pink. I don't know why the
Yeah, it
color
looks more red.
I don't know why the color balance is doing that, but this is like the color inside here is like Barbie pink. And then this is like a light pink, and then this out here is sort of a I want to say it's kind of like leaning towards like a dark red, but it's got a pink-ish hue to it. But yeah, on my computer it looks very red. Yeah. No, it's I'll take a photo and send it to the Instagram. I'll see if I can't get the colors to match up right. So, yeah. But not bad. Not bad. I wasn't sure where we'd finish tonight. To be honest, I had no clue. I was afraid we wouldn't finish these. But yeah, not so bad. So this is the beginning of the month. So that makes tomorrow the hangouts for the Patreon supporters. I suppose we can. What the heck? If you want to join us tomorrow night, same time we usually do this, we'll be over on Patreon. Just get a hold of me. I think you're already. Wait, is Just String Things? Is she already on Patreon? Do you know? I don't know. If you're not, get on there. Let me know, because I have to change permissions, and then you can join into the insiders portion for the chat, and we can hang out together tomorrow night. And then any of the other Patreon people can join as well. Is there any other announcements that we had to? I talked about the schedule.
No, you haven't run the credits.
No, I was going to do that next. But I was trying to get out any of the other. I can't think. My brain is damaged. All right. So thank you to my Patreon supporters, as well as my YouTube members who make all this stuff possible. Honestly, I can't do it without you guys. So thank you guys so much. And yeah, we will be back next week, where I join all these things together, and Yeah, I don't know. We'll probably bring this thing down further. I don't know. I don't know if we'll get it all the way around into a cylinder or what. But yeah, it'll be exciting. It'll be different. And yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how this bag comes along because, like I said, these little curly things, they go in all different directions and it's going to make me go crazy. Oh yeah, why you did that? My robot's broken. That's weird. Why is my robot broken? Um, Hang on, I want to fix the thing. That's the Patreon one. Whoa. How did you guys both type out Patreon? It didn't do a thing. I put it in and it spits it out. What the heck is that?
Weird.
That's cheaty. Wow. All right, guys. Hangouts tomorrow and all that good stuff. And as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.